Whiplash. He's not here just right now, so let's talk about the match. The second match of the day, it is going to be Kespa Team 8 versus EGTL. Kespa Team 8 sitting in third place right now, with EGTL not doing so great in 7th place, and they are on a 3-game losing streak, so they need to snap out of it today. Now, they are playing in Slow TV, the Shindorim studio, so they must be feeling a little bit more comfortable, because we actually took a look at the team rankings, and Yongsan and Shindorim, and EGTL does much better in the Shindorim studio. The reason why that's happening, in my opinion, is because he is more familiar, not he, but the EGTL team. They're more familiar with the Code A studio than the Yongsan studio, so, they just feel more relaxed, they don't get pressured, and they just play much better in Shinnorim compared to Yongsan. Team 8, however, they've been on a huge rise these days. They're sitting in the third place, and just like Samsung Khan, they don't know how to go back down. So these two teams, Kespa Team 8, EGTO, in a different position right now. And let's look at the ranking. In the third place, Kespa Team 8, they are sitting on 9 wins and 7 losses. And Whiplash, tell me everything about EGTO.
All right, I certainly will. EGTL, they haven't been doing so good recently. It's really unfortunate because they have a lot of great players on their team. They have Revival, Stefano, Hero, JYP, and Tasia when he's able to play, but unfortunately, due to his wrist injury, not so much. I don't know, man. I wish I could see better results out of EGTL. I gotta be honest with you. But Team 8, they're just scary nowadays. Just like Samsung Kong, like they've really completely just changed since the beginning of the season.
Well, the one good news for EGTO is when they face off against each other, EGTO, they always won against Kespa Team 8.
Yeah, that's true. But nowadays, Kespa Team 8, they're looking stronger than ever, and EGTL, they're looking quite mortal. They're looking like they can be taken down by Team 8. Will we see that happen today? I don't know. But with Stefano on the roster for today and actually playing, things are bound to get interesting.
Well, let's see what Stefano brings into the matches today.
All right. So let's go ahead and check out the lineup. Tai against JaeDong, Savage against Revival, Terminator against Stefano. Very interesting. Argo versus Puma, True versus Hero, Cure against JYP with Arkanoid as the ace match. So lots of exciting and fun matchups there. I'm getting all giddy in my seat right now, ready for them. Should be a lot of fun. I think there's like 3 different matches that I'm very excited for here.
Well, point them out once we get to them.
Yeah, I certainly will.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Even we are saying this thing and we're like, what?
I am just doing my best to be polite.
So the first match, it is going to be Tai against JaeDong. I'm really looking forward to that. Former teammates now going off against each other.
That's actually one of the things that makes this really interesting. Also, Tai, he was one of these really up-and-coming Rude War players, and now in StarCraft 2 he's had some success, but recently he has not been doing so well. And JaeDong, I want to say that compared to his Brood War era, he's playing quite mediocre.
Yeah.
I hate myself for saying that, but I mean that is the reality of it.
Yeah, I just wanted to double check in my head, and I think you are quite correct.
When
it comes to that.
I've seen little bits of brilliance from JaeDong, like when he played against Flash and I believe the Up and Downs.
Yeah.
That was so exciting to see that. I was like, yeah, that was so fun.
And then it was like, oh, he didn't make it into Code S.
Yes. So can we see a bit of a revival from JaeDong? So he'll play more like Stefano.
He needs to become the hero of the team. So let's see what he has in store against Tai. Or some people, they actually ask me on Twitter to actually call out his name TY. Because of course that's his initials, Taeyang. Taeyang.
Oh, so. I didn't know that. He actually, you know what? Who was the one who started all the abbreviation with all the caps for their names? I think it was I want to say OGS, SKS, originally Tester. Was he the first one to start doing that?
I don't remember.
Okay. Well,
Well, here we go. We're going to go into the first match, and let's meet the players.
all right.
Playing for Kespa Teammate.
It's Ty. And
He is sitting on 118 wins, 112 losses. This season, not doing so great. 6 wins and 10 losses.
fortunately for him, luckily though, he was able to break his losing streak. Recently, he has 1 win recently behind some losses, so, you know, at least he's feeling good about that. He's 3-6 against JaeDong, but I'm not sure if these guys have actually faced off against each other in StarCraft 2 yet.
Yeah, the great news for Ty is that his last match was a TBC.
Yeah.
On Aqualung Flash against Action. Someone that you should never ignore. He's a really nice third player, and Ty was able to take him down. His opponent is going to be JaeDong.
JaeDong. There's the cheering there, 7-6. So he's actually not doing too bad at all this season. And
all the records were from Brood War.
They were. So, you know, overall not that bad, but we expect a little bit more from the man that's called the Tyrant, I would have to say.
So JaeDong versus Ty on Antigua Shipyard.
It's going to be exciting. I want to see how well Ty can multitask, and I want to see what kind of strategies JaeDong has planned for his former teammate.
Last time when JaeDong played on this map against the Terran from Kespa Teammate, he played against Cure, and Cure was able to out-multitask him, deny JaeDong from getting the 4th base, and eventually win the game.
Yeah.
Is Ty going to have the similar style of play? Is he going to have the same multitasking skills as Cure?
Well,
only the game will tell.
Yeah, watching the game will tell, but it also does depend on what tech path the Zerg does choose.
That is also quite true. And it also depends on if Ty wants to go bio or mech.
Yeah.
Usually players go bio on this map. It's more popular.
Yeah. Also, with Stefano recently, we've been seeing a lot more varied styles of Zerg compositions against...
the Roach Hydra composition.
Yes. I saw that one guy wave in the corner at the camera before transition back to JaeDong. And so the players, they're just preparing right now. They should be ready very soon here. And once they are, we'll be ready and we'll hop into the first game of the second match for the day.
Second match of the day, 6th match of this weekend.
Yeah.
That's what it says on the paper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it says 3-round, second week, 6 match.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's see if Kespa Teammate can actually bring back and take a revenge against EGTL for the 4-3, 4-2 loss in round 1 and round 2. Or will EGTL continue their trend from round 1 and round 2?
Yeah. And I'm really so torn about this, but never mind that. The players are ready. Let's hop into the first match.
The first set has begun.
And spawning up in the top left-hand position from teammate, it is Ty.
And spawning on the bottom right position as the blue Zerg, it is going to be JaeDong.
I'm really torn between these two teams on who I want to win, because Team 8, they started off doing really bad. They had pretty much no star players. They had to kind of, work up from nothing, and now they're sitting in 3rd place. They've been playing so well recently. They had 2 of their players qualify for Code A, and I know Cure was in the final round before he got barely knocked out by someone from StarTale named Avenge. And just, I see them continuously improving. On the other hand, we have, EGTL, Team Liquid, Evil Geniuses, the 2 best foreigner teams combined together in Proleague. I mean, as a foreigner, it's almost impossible to not have a little bit of bias for them. But hold that thought. Look at Ty. He's already building a barracks outside his main base.
That's a tricky position.
Hmm.
Yeah, because most players would expect the barracks to be in the natural or even inside the main or somewhere outside of the map, but that location, the Overlord is not going to easily scout that except until the second Overlord gets to the natural.
Yeah, this is actually, it's just mind games at this
Yeah,
point. Because JaeDong, he's not going to see anything in the main base, and he's going to be thinking to himself, what? What?
15cc.
15cc?
Yeah,
Yeah. And maybe he'll play a little bit greedier, or maybe he'll be wondering, wait a second, where is that barracks? You know,
yeah,
where is it going to be?
yeah, and JaeDong is also not drone scouting.
He isn't.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunate. I actually like when Zerg's drone scout. It's just a little bit safer, but then you don't get the same type of economy that you would have otherwise.
Yeah.
So that there's always trade-offs. That's StarCraft, you know? Doing one build over another. You know, if you go for the CC first, the trade-off is to get more economy, but your units are out later. Maybe you're a little bit more vulnerable to an attack. You know, if you go for a lot of units early on, you're not going to have the economy to sustain your army in the later stages.
SCB just checking around the main base, seeing that there's nothing out of the usual, and also building one Marine before lifting up and putting it at the natural ramp.
Yeah. We have 2 refineries going
Mm-hmm.
down, so we could see bio, we could see mech. Really just depends. Until see what our Terran player wants to do, what he wants
Mm-hmm.
to make. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for the factory and then go for the double triple. But generally when you see that, it's I've noticed people like to do the CC first build a little bit more, something like that.
It's like stay greedy and then keep being greedy.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Nice micro by JaeDong, but just barely missing that SCV there. Almost getting it. And we do have a factory being built here, so we're going to probably see the reactored Hellions into the Banshee and
Mm-hmm.
the third base. The timing of the third base may vary a little bit between the Banshee and the Starport timing. So we'll have to see what Ty's plan is when it comes to that.
Yeah, up to this point it's just standard in TBC.
Hmm.
And after you actually get the factory up and get the reactor out, it really depends on what the Terran player decides to go for. They might add more factories, they might add more barracks. It really depends on what Ty decides to do. JaeDong, he's just droning up.
He is. He is actually getting a lot of queens out right now. I love when Zerg players get lots of queens. Also, it looks like he wants to take a pretty fast expansion here.
Mm-hmm.
And the starport is going down. There's a tech lab being built by that barracks. He's going to probably switch that out with the starport and make a cloaked banshee as soon as it finishes.
Mm-hmm. Now JaeDong is taking the extra gases inside his natural while also taking the third hatchery. And Ty, he's just gonna use the Hellions to deny the creep spread, keep his opponent inside the main base, possibly pick off some Zerglings that are around the map and not paying attention, and he's also getting a second tech lab.
Yeah, another queen being built by JaeDong. Uh-oh, that bunker.
Ooh,
Oh, he
well,
can see it.
JaeDong sees it with the Overlord.
And that's not going to finish. Those Marines like, oh crap.
Oh, well, two of the Marines got through, and the bunker is
Oh,
still a long way
the
from
queens are
finishing, but
so
the Queens are
slow.
so slow.
Will they actually be able to kill it off in time? And
Well, you know what, something I realized? Did he actually wall off in the natural? Okay, he did. Because the Queens are out of the position from the natural, which means that the Hellions can go for the run-by if the Queens are out of position.
that's
Uh,
true.
yeah, he could actually go for it right now.
JD.
There we go.
All right, the Hellion Harass is going to come in here.
And the Queens are out of position
They
to
are.
deal with it. Now there's one more Queen from the back, but all he has to do is run by, go into the
Uh-oh.
main, and roast the drones. Here we go. First volley on the drones, and the drones are pretty much clumped up.
Oh, wow. A
And
lot
getting
of potential damage that can be done here. JaeDong doing his best to split up his units, and now the additional Queens are out. And wow, only killing 4 drones there. That was actually very well controlled by JaeDong.
very nice crisis management.
Yeah. He's definitely beat Crisis on the Delta mode.
Yes, that's what JaeDong has been known for.
Yeah.
It's like he has amazing micro, he has amazing tactics, and when it comes to crisis management, he is able to save most of his workers.
Yeah. Alright, so the Banshee's on the way. There's no cloak out yet. unless it somehow slipped by me. I don't think so. The Zerg player is just, econing up at this point, getting pretty good creep spread now as well. I love when the Zerg players, they get a lot of queens out and they just spread that creep so fast because by the time they go for a big attack later on in the game, they have creep pretty much everywhere on the map.
It's a
Everywhere.
purple map.
Yeah, it's a purple map.
Yeah.
It's that Scarlet style where essentially you deny your opponent's bases with creep.
Now Ty getting more factory, so he's gonna go into mech.
He is. And a Raven. I love when Zerg players get Terran players get the Raven as well in their
Oh
army.
man, if the Zerg players get Raven along with Infestors, oh,
That could be...
I'll be forced to switch to Zerg. Now these two Banshees doing a lot more than the Hellions did previously.
Yes.
Taking off the Queen and also getting more drones out of position.
Wow.
Well, didn't pick up the Queen actually. It was out of position, but he could even go for it if he
15
wanted to.
killed now from 4. That's actually a huge difference there.
He made up the loss
He did.
of the 4 Hellions with the 2 Banshees.
Yeah. All right, so it looks like JaeDong, he's going to go into that Ling, Baneling, Muta unit composition, but his opponent's going for mech. So if he doesn't realize that, then that's going to be a little bit of an issue here. I mean, yes, you can kind of go this style against mech, but it generally doesn't work out that well. You're better off going for the roaches and trying to get the broodlords out, as soon as you can. The broodlords are very good at dealing with mech until they can get a high Viking count out. But if you can catch them off guard with the broodlords, you can almost win the game immediately at times. You just completely crush their army.
Zergling is just hopping around the map, trying to get some map vision. Goodbye, Hellion. And Blue Flame is out on the way with +1 for Ty, while JaeDong, like you said, getting the Spire, getting the +2/+2 attack.
Yeah.
Still no Roach Tech, so...
Still no Roach Tech. The Baneling Nest is being built right now. 2-2 is on the way. I have a feeling that JaeDong doesn't even realize that...
He completely misread.
I think he misread his opponent. He doesn't realize that Ty is going for mech here.
And Ty is also getting 2 doors, pretty much safe against the Mutas. And here comes the Medivac drop.
The Lings see it. Will JaeDong be prepared in time for these Blue Flame Hellions?
Well, the Blue Flame is still not done. He needs to buy a few more seconds for the Blue Flame to finish, but he's going to go for the drones. Now, good news is that Blue Flame is going to finish in a few more seconds, so if you can actually clean it off before that, then it's going to be great. And 2 Hellions left. Last one. Blue Flame is finished, but...
The Blue Flame is revealed.
Yeah.
A few drones lost there. Oh, wow. That's a lot of Hellions there. JaeDong has to know that his opponent is going for mech now, and he has to quickly change up his unit composition to deal with this heavy mech composition.
Either go for that, or just pretty much try to deal it with the Muta Zerglings.
Yeah.
One of those two. And he is getting the Roach Warren.
Yes, the Roach Warren being built. The problem with going Mutaling, Baneling against mech is that the siege tanks can take out the Banelings quite effectively. The Thors are even pretty good at tanking shots. Oh, more Hellions in the main base!
This time it's Blue Flame Hellion, which means that the drones die much quicker.
JaeDong's still doing a good job of defending against them, and yeah, I mean, despite losing 26 workers overall, he still has 67 workers. That's not bad at all. That's actually perfect. That's a good drone number there. He's fine with that.
Yeah, but his opponent has better supply for now. 126 to 122.
Oh, look at this. Overlord drop being researched for our Zerg player.
Last time when we saw this, it was Terran player from SK Telecom T1 against one of the Zerg players.
I think actually, no, it was a Zerg player from SK Telecom against Flash.
Oh, yeah, against Flash, excuse me, on Planet S, and he just went for the drop on the tanks, and if you can just drop on top of the tanks, and you don't even have to run around the walls or the Hellions, you could just kill off the siege tanks really quickly, and the heart of the mech army are those siege tanks.
They are. Okay, so at this point in the game, JaeDong, he knows his opponent went mech, so he's expanding all over the map. He has creep everywhere at this point. I love the creep spread. I can't iterate that enough. And Baneling speed is being researched, interestingly enough, right now, along with Roach +1 attacks. So the Overlords are going to be finished soon for the drop, and I think what JaeDong wants to do is use a lot of that supply with the Zerglings and Banelings to drop on the Terran opponent and kind of keep him passive in his base for longer. Just delay that mech push as long as possible so he can get a proper unit composition out to deal with the mech.
Yeah, and also just waste the Zerglings in the most efficient way. It's like... Okay, well, it seems like Ty is slowly pushing out with his mech army. The The +2/+2 is finished for our serve player JaeDong, and yeah, slowly pushing out.
15 banelings on the way. There's a good amount of roaches out. Here are the roaches, but I don't know if this is the smartest engagement here.
I think it's better for him to pull out, but it seems like he
He's
has
going
tons of
for it,
roaches.
though.
Where are the Seasings? They're slightly out of position to cover the doors, which means that the Mutas can do full damage. However, the Vikings are over there, and he's able to deflect the attack at the last second.
Barely defending against that attack. JaeDong, despite having the wrong army composition off in the earlier part of the game, he did a great job in that engagement. Took out the Thors, took out a lot of Hellions, and only backed up when he knew that he wouldn't be able to take out those siege tanks.
Now we have 24 roaches coming out, and these aliens in the fort base killing all of the drones that are burrowed.
They are. Actually, maybe even one will survive.
One or two.
Yeah. Looks like it. I like this. Ty, he's getting another Raven despite losing his original one. And eventually, this base will be able to get taken by Ty here. That creep will eventually, go away, but it still is annoying. It's going to last for a long time. 44 lings on the way.
Here we go.
You know what he's going to do? He's going to use the roaches to take out the Hellions, and then he's going to drop the Zerglings on the siege tanks. I have a feeling he's going to do something like that here.
This is like watching PBT with the shuttle Xalopoms.
Uh-oh.
But he needs to be careful. It seems like Ty, he kind of knows what's happening because he's just poking forward, trying to get the overlords as much as possible.
Yeah. Ty still doing a great job at harassing JaeDong's economy throughout the map.
This fifth base is going to get taken down.
It looks like it.
Uh-huh. And the Raven is slowly pushing out the map. The fifth base gets taken down, but it seems like JaeDong is going to attack into this.
Attacking into this. I don't know if this is the best decision. Ty's army is so spread out here.
Here comes the Banelings, but the Vikings are pretty much target firing the Overlords, and Ty's great siege line. He's able to defend against the attack. No problem. The planetary fortress is still up.
30 roaches on the way, but JaeDong he doesn't really have much of an economy behind this. I mean, he does have 4 bases, but he doesn't have any type of bank here. And the Terran army is much higher in the supply. The Greater Spyro has only just started right now. He needed those Broodlords a while ago. But now, Ty, he's got a good amount of Vikings. He has the tanks, the Thors. This is quite the scary Zerg army. Terran army.
Yeah, the upgrades are also similar right now. +2/+1. That means that the mech army is pretty much going to crush the Zerglings and deal tons of damage to the Roaches. Now, JaeDong going to move around the map trying to attack the planetary fortress. The SCBs are next to it, but is that going to be enough?
Well, I think JaeDong's going to have to essentially base trade here. That's the best decision. He knows he can't take out that force, so why not kill the SCVs and then get out of there?
Well, he couldn't even kill the planetary fortress. He killed all the SCVs, but all Ty has to do is drop down the mules, make multiple SCVs for multiple command centers, and it's like nothing happened.
Yeah.
He just freed up the supply. JaeDong getting the Greater Spire out, but this seems a lot like Cure versus JaeDong on Antigua Shipyard. Yes, Ty did go for a different army composition, but he was able to deny the 4th base and 5th base constantly.
Yes. And now Ty's moving forward here with his main army composition. JaeDong, he does not have the supply to fight this army head on.
Yeah, and even if he has the Broodlords out, Ty already has enough Vikings to deal with the Broodlords. The Roaches are pretty much toast against the siege tanks.
GG. This Ty playing quite solid there. JaeDong, unfortunately, not realizing what his opponent's unit composition was until I feel it was too late.
It was slightly too late. He was trying to trade efficiently as much as possible, but it wasn't enough for him to come back and win the game.
No, it wasn't. So right now, Team 8, they're already up 1-0 over Evil Geniuses. Team Liquid, there's Swanee saying, well, nice try, man. Can't win them all. It's not like Pokemon where you can catch them all and win every game.
Boy, even Ash couldn't catch them all.
Yeah, he couldn't.
He couldn't.
I mean, he'll never own a Raichu because he won't evolve his Pikachu with the Thunderstone. Anyway, guys, we have to go into a quick commercial break. The next game, Savage against Revival on Caldeum 3. We'll be right back.